you very much. Tung, you've been with us for every conference.
I think so, yeah.
Every time you have something new to share.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
I think last week in Hanoi, for those of you that were in Hanoi, we do the same conference, but in a different city. And we kind of localize it a little bit. We want to bring the voices from Hanoi in particular, kind of share what the trends up there are. And for you've got a couple restaurants up there. You have one over here.
Yeah.
And the theme was all about Henry's.
Yeah.
Could you explain a little bit about that and the restaurants that you've built and why you target those customers before we get into today's topic?
Yes, like I introduced a bit. So like I start my career in Hanoi with the Tung Dining in 2018. So it's the first restaurant in Vietnam to do the tasting menu only. And that is our very cornerstone to do something like very new. And after 2 years, we starting the business in Saigon with a restaurant named Elle Tung. So like located in the District 1 also. So like it's also like one of the first one to do tasting menu only in Saigon. And we have our business have the small bar like molecular cocktails with the Rick Church, the mood therapist, and we do like the tasting menu cocktail also in Hanoi. And it's a long journey for us to start because like in the beginning we are the very first one to do something like never happened before here.
And that's what the young people want these days? Is something new, would you say?
Yeah, I mean like, how to say, like I opened that when I was quite young. So like at the age of 26, I opened that restaurant.
How old are you now?
I'm now more than 30. 30 in few months.
Are you 92? You're 93?
I'm 92.
Oh, we're both 92.
Yeah,
okay.
Both same age.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for those of you that don't know, Tung Dining and all the other associated venues and Tung yourself, you guys have gotten a lot of awards here in Vietnam, but also internationally, especially Asia 50 Best. And for those of you that don't know, Michelin Guide is coming to Vietnam this year. They don't tell you how they come, who these people are. They're called inspectors, I think. Has that put any pressure or changes about how you guys operate, about what the industry is thinking about when more international attention is coming here?
I think for me, it's like the Michelin coming is like very good news for Vietnam. I mean, like it's a great thing because like in Vietnam we need to have very like systematic and systematic like guide because previously we don't have that kind of thing. So like the 50 best just coming back to Vietnam like in 2020. And then like now is the Michelin coming, so it's a very good chance and great chance for all the restaurant and all the environment here. So like whenever they've been here, so like all the environment have been boosting a lot, and then like, I think like everyone always need to like re-evaluate their value or something to see if they can match with the standard or not. I mean like for me, say if you don't want Michelin star, for me it's not quite true saying. I mean like every chef, especially in the term if they are doing fine dining, I mean like the Michelin is not the final destination, but I mean it's a recognition for what you have been done and what you have been gone through, and it's very special for Vietnam also. For us, like we still keeping the standard. That's the most important thing. So I mean like we try to remain the consistency every day. We try to bring the good experience for our target audience. And then like that the most very stressful. Of course, it definitely stressful and stressful more than normal because if you want to aim something or if you want to just be on the guide, you need to work very hard. I mean like just to be then on the guide already an honor. So for me, like it's already an honor. So like it's a great like to have such a prestigious guy to be here and Vietnam can welcome the new trend of the gastronomy, the new people coming, the good chef coming, the good industry group coming. That's the most important thing. And we have the beautiful guy like to show up the Vietnam to the world. Yeah.
So a lot of Vietnamese consumers have never had experience with Michelin Guide or even Asia 50 Best because there's not a lot of recognized restaurants here in Vietnam. That's changing. And of course, a lot of your venues opened basically during COVID, it sounds like, right? I mean, you guys were open for 6 months and then COVID hit. Has your customer base changed? And how do Vietnamese people think about, Abatung or is being recognized internationally, does that change their perception now that they walk in to your venues? Do they have higher expectations? Are you able to charge more? I don't know if that's your goal, but how do you play that?
I think like it's an interesting thing. I mean, like during the COVID time, it's very tough time for the whole F&B scene because like like we don't have any source of income, but we still have a lot of fixed costs. I mean, like I just by saying like we are quite lucky to go through that very hard time. But like for me, like at that moment, like I shared before, like for me the COVID time is such an opportunity because previously, like when we start running the business, we know we have many problems. We have something like errors, something we want to change. We need to improve our stuff. But like because it's like the non-stop growing, like you don't have time. You know the problem, you know the matter, but you don't have time to fix that. And suddenly you have the COVID. Of course, you have like the two sides of the coin. You don't have money, you don't have anything, but you have time. So at that moment, we feel so lucky. Like we have time to improve our corporate system. We can training staff more, and we can strengthen our structure. So like during that time, really help us to know what we are doing and how to be like stronger than ever. And for the customer, but I feel like our cuisine. I mean, like I talking about our case, the cuisine of us is quite suited to the local taste and also like international taste. That what I think is my strength. Because some restaurant will do like too locals. Some restaurant will be like too international. So the taste like when the COVID, I had met with some of my friend really in trouble because the cuisine is not balanced between because they go very too far for a Western when the COVID or when the normal environment like the customer tourists coming. So like it's very nice. But then the COVID coming and the border shut down, they don't have the source of the income. But for us, I think like the proportion of the customer something like the 50 and 60, it depends on 30 or 70. So like even like when we have no COVID, the restaurant still can full with the Vietnamese. So I think it's a very good time. But now it's like our restaurant is fully of Westerner because like the tourists and the customer always booking in advance before, like 1 month, 2 months before they came into Tung Dining or A Bai Tung. So now the mostly local cannot book because they always booking on the last minute.
So
different.
That's I can't. My favorite restaurants these days, the ones that are of the highest kind of standard, couple weeks out kind of thing.
Sure.
I've got a question for you about that. So 4 or 5 years ago, a lot of the international travelers coming in are of the lower income, let's say, or lower spending power. Everything from backpacker travels or people looking for good value. Are the travelers today coming with a bit more money to spend? Are they looking for like if you go to Thailand, for instance, I imagine travelers spend a lot more money there. That's why there's a lot of 5-star hotels, a lot of Asia 50 best restaurants there. Is that trend now coming here where bars and restaurants are saying, wow, there's a lot of people with spending power, local and travelers, let's go respond to that. Is that what you're also seeing? And do they care about the awards that kind of could come with it?
I think for sure, award will play very crucial role to attract more customer to the MB scene here. Because like because for example in my restaurant, like many customer came to my restaurant because of 50 best. Because like we have some award or something, so they know and they come. I mean, it's a very positive thing, for me for the award like that. But for me, like now, actually, like the demand for finding here had been for so long before. It's just a matter of like no one doing that. It's the story of no one doing that. But actually, like if you heard the people coming here like 10 years ago, back to 8 years ago, many businessmen, many doing business like 10 years ago coming here, they cannot find any like fine restaurant. I mean, the demand always there, but just like the question of the mathematics here is like, do you have some people to do that, and do people have the courage to do that, or do you have some people like ready to start the game? That's the most important because like when you start things, the game it's so stressful and you can get like a lot of thing to come. But like whenever some people like clear like the road for you, and then like next generation just go, and then like I think like the demanding now is a huge. Everyone coming here, even like for us, we traveling around the world, we eat street food, but on the one day during the trip, we will come to one luxury place,
right?
And where is it? So I mean like,
Okay, I have a tough question for you just to end this panel. There's a few restaurants that have been awarded all these different types of awards, and the customers, they come in with high expectations. And I mean, I'm not looking at the reviews all the time. Reviews are just reviews, but occasionally, whenever I go to Tung, for instance, Tung Dining, I go once every few months. I look at the Google map review. I put in Google, look at the reviews, all these 5-star reviews, and occasionally get that 1-star review. And it's like, yeah, I came here because of 50 best. The expectations weren't met. What do you say to those travelers or people reading those reviews? Why aren't they being met with the expectation? Is it just too sky high? Is it too low? What's going on there, in your opinion?
I mean, like, it's good if you see them because, like, for me, it's everything we do is very natural. We don't feeding any like the review or something. And of course, like we have some different kind of customer. So like the game of fine dining is not only about standard, but like about the expectation game. I mean, like for your restaurant, even when you don't have any award or something, you cooking like amazing night, like 12 courses, 20 courses, and they know, oh, just no name restaurant. And they came, they feel so surprised. And why is like that good? And they're not in any guy in the world. But then you into the guy, and then people with the thinking, okay, tonight I go to Michelin, we go to 50 best, we go to whatever. Oh, it need to be this, need to be that. Even your cooking still the same, everything's still the same. So like, but that the game is make that life very stressful, and how you need to make the consistency every day. So to avoid to want to minimize all the risk during the time you do the menu.
Is it worth it for you?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So like you need to know like you do normally you do 10, people say amazing, but now you need to do 15, you do to 20. So two people think okay, it's okay. And of course, like for example, like you met when you become popular, you met all the different kind of customer around the world. For example, like 2 days ago in Tung Dining, I have the first 2 review star for my 5 years. So like the group of the Chinese, Chinese, Korean something, the old people, they come in and they just didn't know much about the finding thing. And for example, we have one dish with the bread and ant, and they cannot eat ant, but they didn't inform them in before, like they cannot eat, so we don't have the substitute for them. But then like they can write the review like it's bad experience because like they cannot train the ant, but by the rule, they need to inform in advance. But I mean, like, it's normal in our industry. Like, it's great to get 5-star, but sometimes 1 and 2 star, 3 star is a good thing for you to always, like, stand on the ground to look at, like, really, like, you always have the problem. Nothing is perfect in our restaurant. So, like, we purchasing the perfection, but, like, we cannot achieve that. So, like, we need to be very, like, stand on the ground and to check and make sure everything, like, to get the best experience as you can. And sometimes you can explain to customer like you doing right or wrong because you are only people know it. But like we try to in the end of the day we smile and we're proud of what we are doing. So like
Well, thank you very much, Tung, for everything, for your sharing. I hope the only 1 star you get is a Michelin, but let's see, that's not my choice.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
very
everyone,
much.
for listening in.